They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down.
Now, Lala, your character has taken a pivotal role in Tommy coming into his own. Mm-hmm. Does she have any fear or reservations that Tommy might change up on her just for his own betterment?
I don't think she thinks that. I think she thinks that she's different from past relationships, and what they have is very different, and what they have is different. But, you know, you can't be in that lifestyle and then pick and choose what comes along with that lifestyle. So it's going to be an interesting season just to see how far in she goes and what comes out of that. Just trying to prove her loyalty or be loyal to him in that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as her friendship with Tasha, it's reached its breaking point, just like Tommy and Ghost. Is there any hope that it can be repaired, or?
I think there's always hope because there's history there from, you know, high school and possibly before. You know, they've been best friends since way back in the day. So the history part of it makes you want to root for that friendship and hope that it comes back. But when you're involving, you know, power and ego and money, you know, things kind of change. So you will see possibly an attempt at trying to figure it out, but I don't know how successful it's going to be.
Now, do you feel that the lack of communication between the characters is the cause for most of the strife?
I think it's just that the fight for power. Like, everyone wants to be the man, so to speak, or the woman, so to speak, and I think it just causes a lot of mess, and friends are doing things behind each other's back and stabbing each other behind each other's back just to be in control or just to have the power, so to speak. So it's an interesting dynamic where nobody's safe on the show, and people you thought were your friends will turn into your enemies that quick. You watch it play out.
You know, it's kind of like your character. She's had these points. She's very emotional, and she's had parts where you can just see it's like it's building momentum, and I'm just really curious to see what's going to happen, obviously, this coming season, because I feel like she's going to be at the point where it's just, she's just going to have this breaking point.
Right. She just wants to, everything you said, step into her own and finally, like, take control and not be in the background anymore and not just be this loyal friend who she feels isn't loyal to her. So it's interesting just watching her step into that and watching what comes about, you know, doing that.
Now, where do you pull from?
I pull from friends I had in high school and childhood because we've all known a Lakeisha, so to speak, and there's pieces of Lakeisha in me as well, but I draw on friendships in high school and, you know, just different girls and how they were maneuvering in relationships with, you know, drug dealers, or how at one time you thought that was the coolest thing, you know, and not realizing the repercussions that come with being involved in that type of lifestyle.
Now, what are your personal thoughts of your character, and what advice would you give her?
I would definitely tell her to smarten up and don't be so naive. I think there's a lot of points where Lakeisha is very naive. And I would also tell her, you know, don't let love ruin your life. Like this relationship with Tommy, because you love him, you're making certain decisions and you're not making the smartest or the best decision. So don't let love, you know, ruin your life.
And as far as the relationship between the two, it's funny because Tommy, his character is very, kind of, there's a vulnerability in his character, you know, and because your character is so emotional, I mean, what were you able to pull from in your own personal relationships as far as being able to attack or, you know, be the character in how you interact with Tommy? Like how?
I think not having any judgment, you know, and just being present in the moment. So many of us always know what we're going to do until we're in certain situations, and then the game changes. We can criticize all our friends and all our family. Why is she with them? Why is she? Until you're in the situation, and then you got to eat your own words because people are looking at you like, oh, wow, isn't that funny? Because now you're doing the same thing. And so I've learned that in this, because it's easy to criticize, you know, why is she with them? Why does she want to be in that life? But until you're in it, you might not really ever understand that. So it's made me also less judgmental of relationships and people and things.